What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at my GetRightRobot custom Fans Toys Phoenix toy version. So this actually was created quite a while ago. I just never got around to doing the review. So I worked with GetRightRobot to kind of get this one going, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really well done. Now, I want to again show the build process, how it got to this point. All right, so starting off with the head, had to come up with a design that was simple and could fit. So he started off with this piece of plastic here. I'm not even sure where he gets it. He has all sorts of parts. Cut it to shape. Really wanted it thin so we could fit it around the head without adding a lot of bulk. So there's the back of it. You can see how it really is streamlined. Then put together the front of it with the face mask. There you got the ears. I'm not even sure where the other parts, but really custom fitted all of that. And there it is, kind of in its final form for the head. Next, got to get some inspiration from the G1 Jetfire, so you see some parts there. And here he is getting some stickers, because we need some stickers for some of the pieces here. There's the gun, so customizing the gun, building that barrel, getting some stickers, trying to match that G1 toy gun look. There, we're ready for paint, so we got all the parts. Turns out that the Fans Toys Phoenix has a lot of parts, one of the most he said he's ever dealt with. Lots of parts, pins, screws. There's the paint ready to go, if you're curious. And here we are, finally in a painted versions. And you can see there his hands are all red. He just gets right into his work there. And beautiful. They're starting to look pretty darn good. And there's some of that detail I showed you. I'm going to show you a little bit later, but really, really gorgeous. It's a lot of paint, a lot of custom, a lot of masking to get it to this point, because there's so many different colors. You really had to do a lot of masking and painting multiple. Here's a video kind of showing the inspiration from the G1 Jetfire toy, and then the backpack from the Phoenix, kind of matching that look. Really just pure genius what he came up with here. Now, we didn't want to get the exact look, but it's pretty close. And then here's where he realized, yeah, we got something good here. So here's original Phoenix leg, G1 toy leg, and then the new custom leg. Really beautiful. And then we get into assembly, so we're starting to get the legs and the hips, crotch together. There's back and pieces of the torso and the arms. There we got the chest kind of coming together, the cockpit there. And there's the chest pretty much fully assembled. And there's the helmet coming together. And I love the way this system works. It's just really good design there. And there you have the backpack starting to come together. So this is really interesting how many pieces there are and how much paint's applied. It really does look a lot like the G1 toy, but it's its own thing. And then finally here it is fully assembled next to the original. And here are some pictures from GetRightRobot. He takes some great pictures, but I'm just going to let you enjoy this without my voiceover, and you can watch. We'll take a look at some of the G1 toy and the original Jetfire from Fans Toys. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that custom build there. And I kind of wanted to show you around this figure. Quite a bit of paint and a few custom pieces here. So number one, we do have a custom head here. And the way it's designed is really, really smart. So let's get in close on this. So this had to be removable because we obviously want this to transform into its jet mode. So he built these ears, which peg in. There's two little pegs right there. And same on the side, there's two little pegs. and then you can take off the helmet. Now the way he's done it, he worked it around the ears, and what that allows you to do is get a thin helmet. So you don't want a fat helmet, otherwise it just looks like he's cut something on top of his head. And that was just pure genius because you don't see it, and it allows you to use the articulation of the existing head, which is really, really smart customization. I love what he came up with here. Only GetRightRobot could come up with something just so genius like that. So just to show you, the head goes up to there, down to there, rotates around. I mean, it still has all the full movement that you had before. And we also have this custom gun here. So this is changed to a full barrel. If you don't remember, here's the original gun. It was a double barrel. So single barrel, and then we have the sight up here, painted black, and then sticker detail applied to make it look like the toy. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course it still works in his hand. He can still hold it and pull the trigger. That's great. Coming to the back here, you have these little missile details here, or gun details. This is actually from NuSupply. If you don't know, I'll put the link in the description to these. You can actually buy these, and they're really beautiful. They're really well done. But there you go with that. And now, since we're back here, you can see the backpack, all this detail. This is completely painted. A little bit of sticker detail here, too, on the top, just to make it look more like the G1. A little black, gray. This is beautiful. You got the little metallic Jetfire logo. This was done to look exactly like the G1 toy with the sticker detail, except there's a lot of paint here. Coming down the legs, you got more sticker detail here, black paint here, silver detail there. Inside of the legs, absolutely gorgeous. So you would never know. There's all that sculpted detail there on the leg, but because it's not painted, you don't see it. And he just painted this. Absolutely beautiful. Coming to the shoulder, there's a lot of detail in here that you don't even know that's there. But because he's painted it, you can kind of see it. I mean, that's just something you wouldn't even think of, but he's just on another level, this guy. Gray paint here. Silver paint inside there, on the inside of the joint. Amazing. Some silver details here on the inside. These were originally, I believe, gray. Those were painted red to match the toy. Chest painted to match the toy. No more logo here. That's actually down here on the cockpit, which we don't see here in the robot mode. And for a quick comparison, there it is next to the MP44 Optimus Prime and the Fans Toys Phoenix. I think this is the X version, but you can see how different this looks just with some paint, the helmet, and the gun. He really was able to differentiate this, and of course it scales well with the Masterpiece line because it's so much bigger. But there you go for comparison. Now he does transform, so you just have to remove this helmet like I showed you earlier. Just take off the ears, pull off the helmet, and we'll get him transformed. So let's get him transformed off camera. We'll take a look at the jet mode. We'll be right back. And there you have him in the jet mode. Absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of funny, you wouldn't think that, it was custom painted to look really good in the robot mode. You think it probably looks kind of funny, but absolutely gorgeous in the jet mode. I love what he did here with the cockpit. The logo is perfect. You got the little stripe here on the nose cone. This works out here because it's, just on the front of the jet, but those are the arms there. You can see kind of where the chest ended up. Here's the back, the legs. The backpack is really what's just absolutely gorgeous here. You got the Autobot logo, the black up here, all this striping here on the backpack. Little details here. It says, let's see, stand clear. So these are all those little stickers I showed you in the build process. A little gray paint here, black paint here, red over here, more gray paint. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal job on this jet mode. It does still roll, it still transforms just fine, except for you got to take off that the head sculpt helmet that I showed you. You can still take the gun here, and there's a little tab right here, just like the original. You can still mount this here, and that will fit right there on the back, and you can store that away. So final thoughts on the GetRightRobot Fans Toys Phoenix Custom G1 Toy Jetfire. Let's start with the positives. The paint, of course, is absolutely gorgeous as always. he is just a genius when it comes to designing and doing details with the paint. I mean, just little things like this. It's just amazing what he's able to do. This head sculpt and the overall helmet design is pure genius because it still allows you to display him with the original head and transform it into the original mode. Gun, of course, also really well done. Just enough difference between the original to make it look more unique for the G1 design. I also think he's got something special. You know, GetRightRobot just has a way of finding where to put the right paint and the right details. If I had any negatives, it really has nothing to do with the paint. It has to do with this figure. The Fans Toys Phoenix has always had limited ankles, and I think that's actually something that Takara told me is going to have an up on them, which is more articulation. So really nothing to do with the custom, just has to do with the original base figure that we used here. So that's really it. I mean, I love this thing. If I had a fire in my house and I had to save one figure, this would definitely be it. I would grab this thing and, you know, really love this thing. Now, why do I make these videos? It's really to inspire people, really to inspire the toy creators, not only people who do customs, but also third-party companies out there to make stuff like this. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.